But that's a transformation conversation, right?
Yes.
That's where we're
Yes.
getting into transformation, when we start getting under the layer. So,
Yes.
if you don't mind sharing with me, and I know you shared one a few minutes ago, but what are some of your transformational experiences when it comes to fitness as a part of personal growth?
Oh, wow. So, when I retired from the Army, like a lot of people, I retired with a lot of ailments. I mean, I still have them. Still have them. But through physical fitness, I always say using my team. So there's another thing. I have a primary care doctor. I've seen physical therapists. I see chiropractors. They're part of my team,
Yeah.
right? And so again, probably it's a topic for another situation is learning how to use your team to your benefit, and not just be an end of a message transmission from them, right? You got to learn how to get involved and take charge of your own health.
Yeah.
But anyway, again, getting on this journey, becoming a personal trainer, learning new things, helped me learn new things about myself, right? And so, biggest thing is like we talked about earlier. It's like, well, I'm 50 now, right? I have to learn how to do things differently. And one of those things that kind of has been leading to my own transformation, because it's ongoing,
Yeah.
is just the idea of less is more, right? At 50, I realized that I can't spend 6 months with my ailments doing high intensity weight training 6 days a week like I want to. Right. I said, but I had to figure out again what works for me. So again, as a personal trainer, that's one of the things I help people with, is developing a plan that's individualized to them.
Right.
Because again, there's all kinds of blueprints out there. There's all kinds of different ways, different processes that you can follow. But I have learned that if you want to find the thing for you that's really transformational, it has to be designed for you.
Yeah.
Right? Because the weights in the gym haven't changed.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, push-ups are push-ups, bench presses, squatting is squatting, but there are different variations, right? And I'm finding out that, of the 100 variations of squats, I may only need to use maybe 5 of them for my goals.
That's right.
Right? So part of that mental transformation is getting my ego out of the way, so that I don't go in the gym wanting to do ego lifting. And you've seen people, right? Most of the time, ego lifting is kind of likened to bad form powerlifting, right?
Yeah.
How can I move this weight? And you see people doing, we like when people hit muscle failure, we call it an irk and jerk, remember? and so, but if you're on a bench and you're doing an irk and jerk with the bench, with the barbell, I would suggest that you work on your technique a little bit, because you might hurt yourself, right? For one. But for number two is that may not be the most efficient way for you to actually utilize that tool, right? Because that's what it really is. And so that, again, part of my own transformation is the education part of physical fitness. Understanding things about my hip. I had low back pain for years. Years. But come to find out, a lot of my low back pain was caused by the fact that I had problems with mobility in my hips, right? And learning things about the hip joint. So again, the education part from working on my physical fitness has been the biggest thing. And when I think about that in terms of my other business, right? When the other things are not working, you realize, it's like, well, what is it that I don't know? What didn't I know that I need to know, that I'm aware, that I was not aware of, right? That I need to know now. So now I've got to go and educate myself. So for me, this is how I utilize physical fitness to really find out what I'm made of. Can I take that same energy from being face to face with some really tough barbell curls, right? And stand in the mirror and look at myself, and right, can I take that same energy when I'm out trying to help one of my real estate clients, find the property that they're looking for? Can I dig deep and get more resourceful, right? So that I can win in that space. And so that was the other thing, is learning and redefining what winning means to me. Right, because I think that's one of the things that I believe would transform a lot of people's lives. Again, back to being realistic. What does winning really look like for you today, versus focusing on all of the regret and what I didn't do and what I used to be able to do, like you mentioned earlier, living in the past as though the past is still relevant for me moving forward.
Yeah.
Like I learned from it, but that's not where I'm going.
Absolutely.
Right? I'm going this way.
Yeah.
Right? So the other part is regression. Right? So sometimes people think about regression as a bad thing, but it's not. That 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I always think of regression as the opportunity to kind of reflect. So sometimes as a personal trainer, when I'm challenging a client with a new exercise, even with myself, and for whatever reason, maybe we hit a plateau, maybe the form is not right.
Yeah.
It's up to me to know, well, what's the regression?
Yeah.
So that we can go back to a point to build from without going all the way back. Maybe we need to go back to the beginning.
Absolutely.
But what's that 1 step back that I can take and go, okay, we need to build more muscle around, I don't know, the shoulder girdle or something like that, right? So then now we can move up and move forward. That's what's going to help us get past this plateau.
Yeah. So
again, like I said, I could go on and on about the benefits and how it has helped me transform and how I believe it will help others transform. And like I said, if you don't have some type of physical fitness goal, right, as part of your life's goal, I believe you're missing out.
Yeah.
You're really missing out.
Yeah, man, I love it. This is so good, man. So I wanna just kind of touch on the first thing that you said that just kind of screamed at me when you said it. Get your ego out the way. Listen, that will answer so many problems in our life if we just learn how to do that. That will answer my problem when I'm getting ready for work in the morning, right? Because we spend an ungodly amount because we want to look our best.
Yes.
Listen, you are the best version of you that you are today. That's what it
Absolutely.
is. I don't care how much time we spend in the mirror. You know, we go to the gym and we work out, and first thing, like you did, you're in the mirror. Come on, man. What are you doing?
Yeah.
That's not what you're in the gym to do. You're in the gym to work. So get to work. Let's condense the time in the gym by going back to the word you said earlier, focusing on what we're doing. So man, I love the idea about our ego, because your ego is the thing that really gets you hurt. I'm just going to be honest with you. That's what gets you hurt. And I love it because when you can see the ego just oozing out of the gym, especially for men. I'm just going to be honest. I'm a man, so I can talk about this real quick.
That's true.
I'm going to ask you a question. I know my answer already. So if you just walked in the gym, how do you know ego is happening someplace? Just out of curiosity.
How ego is happening?
Yeah, how do you know ego is there?
Form
Okay.
with the workouts. Weight that's too heavy.
Yeah.
And so there's a good part to this, people, again, stomach in, chest out, right? Right, which is good, right?
Which is good, yeah.
But you can see the people who that are ego lifting.
Yeah.
And you can differentiate them from others.
Absolutely.
Because you're like, again, if you know anything about, a little bit about weight training or resistance training, the first thing you notice is people's form.
Yeah.
And you can really identify bad form.
Yeah.
And if it's heavy and bad form, that's ego lifting, right? If the reps, supposed to be full contraction or whatever, and they look like this, right? Usually that's ego lifting. So
for me, and it's gonna be fun. And if you ever see Kevin Hart stand up, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For me, for men, it always happens around the bench press, right? So they'll put it has to be at least 300 pounds. I mean, it's a lot of clapping, it's beating themselves, and some of their friends making, it's ego. That's all ego.
Yeah.
I don't need to attract attention to myself to get a good workout. I'm in there for me, not to have everybody look at me while I do it. So that's one of the things, and I just thought that was funny when you mentioned that, because I've seen it so many times, and it takes away from the core reason of why we're all there. I like what you said about redefining what a win looks like, and I changed it up a little bit. What a win looks like.
Yes.
Your statement was redefining winning.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, holistically speaking, some people can't get into the consistency of a win until they acknowledge what a win is.
Exactly.
Winning is consistently happening in your life, whether you believe it or not.
Absolutely.
Even when we don't achieve what we want to achieve, or it doesn't look like what we want it to look like, If you put forth the effort to attempt it, it's a
Yes.
win, because you can now learn from whatever took place in that moment, and then you can use that learning to go forward. So that is a win. And
Yes.
like you said, if we redefine what that looks like, we'll realize that we're constantly winning.
Yes.
Even if on the outside it looks like I'm not winning, I'm still winning, because
Yes.
I take it all as progression.
Yes.
That's it. And that's why I keep using that word, because the word progression is what winning looks like for me. I don't care how far I progress today and tomorrow, as long as I progress.
Yes.
Do I want the large leaps? Absolutely. Am I okay with the small baby steps? I am, until the large leaps happen.
Yes.
So that's what we have to do. And I like the fact that you said that, because that's the thing that keeps us ruminating about not looking like that guy over there, or not looking like that female over there. That's the
Right.
thing that keeps us in our head, because I didn't achieve the win I thought I was going to achieve. But the
Sure.
question is, did you achieve a win?
Right.
Well, yeah, I did.
Right.
If I'm honest, I did achieve some type of win. Then find gratitude in that.
Yes.
And I promise you, if you can find gratitude in that, winning becomes louder, bigger, and more constantly in your life.
Yes.
But man, this is so good. I mean, the whole transformation piece. I mean, I like, so last thing, I know you said so much, man. It's kind of hard for me just to pick out a few, right? But the last thing, right, when you talked about the ebbs and flows, so the
Yes.
regression piece. Regression is the opportunity for reflection. Listen, if you haven't written down anything this young man said, that would be one to write down. Regression is the opportunity for reflection. That is so accurate. That is so true. Because once you start moving backwards just a little bit, that gives you time to reassess what is actually happening. And then you can actually go through what we understand to be as process change.
Yes.
You can change your processes. Like you mentioned, maybe I need to understand what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I need to work at more muscle density around my shoulder so that I can do those overhead presses that I want to do. So yeah, that's absolutely right. And man, listen, I need to write that one down myself, because a lot of times I need to be reminded of that, because I'm just, you know how we do, man. We human.
I do. Yes. Yeah.
We're human,
Yeah.
man. So I think that's really what we what we struggle with a lot of times, just
Yeah.
finding a way to keep moving forward.
I agree.
You said so much, and I, for one, appreciate everything that you said, because trust me, not only have I lived the majority of them, I experienced them, I felt them, but I know that anyone who was listening, I don't care what reason they're listening, they got something from it, even if it was,
I hope so.
I need to do more. You know what I'm saying? As far as physical fitness concerned, maybe I need to get a Fitband to track a Fitbit or whatever, to track my daily progressive moving. Doing housework, whatever that looks like. I hope they got something. But what is the big thing that you want everybody to take away from this conversation?
I believe the biggest thing is, again, make physical fitness a part of your life. I can't stress that enough. I often think about my own family, and I think about when I was younger, and I try to put it in numbers and percentages. And I think about the people who were actually physically active, we'll say over the age of 40. And I can only think of two.
Wow.
One of them is not with us anymore. And then the other one, again, he's older, in his 70s now. But I remember, a bad back kind of slowed him down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know of anybody like me that was 50 that still hobbles to the gym to play some pickup basketball with other 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody that that went out and biked, 10 miles, 2 or 3 times a week. I didn't know anybody like that.
Yeah.
So I look at some of the challenges that, again, my own family, people in my family are having, an older age. And I personally attribute that to just the lack of focus on their physical fitness, probably the last 30 years of their life, based on where they are now.
Yeah.
And I nothing breaks the cycle either, sometimes in a family like physical fitness, because again, the mental aspect of it.
Right.
You ever known anybody, and I asked the audience, you ever know anybody that transformed themselves physically that was not different mentally or emotionally or even psychologically?
Yeah.
right? So it's one of those things where, you know, knowledge is never the problem, right? We all know these things.
Yeah.
You know, but finding it within ourselves, again, that's self-image.
Yeah.
Seeing it as a part of your life. You have to see it, right? But you also have to believe it before you see it. So that's the other catch. So again, all or nothing thinking says, well, I'll believe it when I see it. And so it's like, well, if you don't see it, and maybe you don't have the vision for it, are you going to believe that it's not true just because it's not within your wherewithal, your capabilities, right? Or are you going to actually look at yourself? I heard this on a podcast one. I forget the guy's name, and he said the most important person to me, or to him at the time, he said, was me 2030. And what he was talking about was himself 20 years or 10 years in the future at the time. This was a couple years ago when I heard it. He said, that's the person I definitely do not want to let down. He said, that's the person that I am working towards becoming. Just like Les Brown says, you know, life is about becoming. We're always becoming, right? But if you're in, you know, if you add some intentionality in there, what are you becoming? Who are you becoming? Right? If you close your eyes, what would you like to see 10 years from now in the mirror?
Yeah.
You know, but it doesn't start 9 years from now, right? That starts today. Yeah. You know, and so again, I can't stress it enough. Go get you a coach, get a personal trainer, join a group, go join the Y. Y has great classes. Go to Google. I mean, YouTube. I heard somebody say the other day, you know, we should be astonished by the things that we see on YouTube. Again, there's always kinds of, you know, things that are out there that don't add any value. But I guarantee you, there is stuff out there that you can learn. If you want to learn a 10-minute home workout routine, I guarantee if you Google it, Google's going to come through, right? So I highly recommend making it a part of your life. I've even talked about all the technical health benefits and all these other kinds of things, because we already know that, right? We know improving our heart health helps improve longevity, right? We know that resistance training helps, especially in women, helps prevent osteoporosis and all these arthritis and all these other kinds of things, right? We know that, right? But what I need people to do, I need you to see yourself, and, you know, and include it on your list of things where you see yourself winning, right? See yourself winning in the physical fitness arena where you're the star, right? You're the star player. You might be the only player, but you have to see yourself winning, right? I can't stress that enough. And again, anybody that's never lifted weights before, I guarantee the first time you get in there and feel that pump, there's a rush like nothing else.
Oh yeah.
Right? Absolutely. There's a rush like nothing else. And give yourself an opportunity to really find out what that feels like, right? Find out what you're made of. Yeah. I don't care if you're 70. Go find out what you're made of.
Yeah. I love it. I've just last story, I promise.
I love it, man. He's good,
man. I met a young man, and I call him young because of his spirit.
Sure.
75 years young, and this man gets up every day, and he at least runs 5 miles every day. I'm like, my God.
I know a couple.
I said, listen, I just hope that I have half of that. If I can just do 2 miles every day at your age, 75 years old, running. Yeah. That's amazing.
Does he say it's easy?
No, you know what? We didn't even talk about whether it was easy
or
whether it was hard.
Exactly. He just does it.
All we talked about is doing it.
He just does it. Yes.
That's all we talked about.
Yes.
So and see that's that thing.
Yes.
You know, either it's easy or it's hard. That's that dichotomy. Right. Don't here or there. Get out of that.
Yes.
Just do it.
Yes.
Just do it. Like Nike said, just do it.
Like Mel Robbins, that 5-second rule: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get up and go.
That's it. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah.
Future plans. You gave us so much. What's in the future for Kenric Lynn?
Wow. I definitely still want to continue to grow as a trainer. As a matter of fact, I got a young friend of mine, a good friend, who's a strength and conditioning coach at a local high school. He runs a lot of camps, and I plan to go up and learn some things from him. And I've actually been contemplating building my own capacity, my educational capacity in this space by going back to school. It's probably the first time I've actually said this out loud to anybody. to include my wife. I don't think I'll talk to her about this, but
you're in trouble now, brother.
Yeah. We'll find out when she sees it, right? But I'm just continuing to, and narrow down my focus on the things that are most important to me when it comes to my entrepreneurial ventures. I own some commercial property with someone, so I plan to grow in that space. Eventually, I will probably move away from being a residential real estate agent. I love real estate, but again, I got into it because it was something I wanted to learn, and I did want to help people and all these other kinds of things. Yeah. But I discovered a different avenue. So again, you walk through one door, it's not the be all end all. There's more doors, and I discovered more doors. Yeah. So I'm going to continue to walk through doors to figure out what's on the other side, and I'm going to continue to live my life. You will probably see something here in the future. Me marketing myself more as a personal trainer, because right now, I mean, we should always consider ourselves beginners. But I'm just enjoying kind of being in the limelight right now and just enjoying helping people. I get a new client. It's a joyful experience for me. I hear a new testimonial from somebody. That's a joyful experience for me. So right now I'm living in the joy of it right now.
I love it. I love it. This is good. Really good. And so you touched on it about marketing yourself, right? So that being said, how can people find you in the digital space and connect with you and just see if they can kind of, just get some of this good information and possibly learn from some of the things that you're doing with physical fitness?
Definitely. The easiest thing to do is probably to text me. I'm a texter. I usually, because I'm with individual clients, my phone stays on do not disturb. So if you're calling me and I don't answer, it's don't take it personal, right? But you can just text me, and I can give you my number. You can put it on the screen. It's just 314-626-0991. Or you can go to my website, which is just www.localnoonenterprises.com, and just go to the Contact Me page. Fill out a contact form, and I will get back to you. Those are probably the best ways to get in touch with me.
I love it. Well, brother, you've provided so much useful information that whoever heard this, they should not walk away from it the same. However, I do have one final request. I need one good final thought from Kenric Lynn when it comes down to the benefits of physical fitness.
We talked about it earlier. Just do it. Just do it. Again, find someone to help you figure out what it is you need to do for you. And since I did mention working with an older population, take advantage of those benefits that places like AARP have for you, your local YMCA and all these places. Sometimes you just need to talk to somebody to find a little bit of clarity, and you can run on your own, right? But if you're having some anxiety about it, find someone that you can talk to, someone that you trust. You know this. You go in a gym, you find somebody that's working out that interests you, and have the courage to go start a conversation with them. And hopefully they can point you in the right direction. And if not, call me. Right? Give me a call. 314-626-0991. Or should I say text me? Text me. Right? For faster response, please text me.
There you go. Well, man, listen, I so appreciate your time. And again, just being able to come back after our hiccup the other day and reconnect and have this wonderful conversation, man. And on the behalf of the Empowering Perspective community, man, I just want to thank you. Blessings to you and your family and everything that you're doing, my friend. And I look forward to continually talking to you on a number of different bases, whether it's here in the Empowering Perspective community, whether it's at the next IMC. I mean, we're just going to continue to connect, man, because I love your spirit.
I love that.
And I, whether you know it or not, I actually go and check you out and lean on you because I do consider you as a distant mentor of mine.
Thank you.
So again, thank you for all you do.
I appreciate you. Really, thanks for having me on today.